Okay, so in processing your own meat, your own deer, I know a lot of guys are intimidated. They may know how to skin it, they may know how to field dress it, but they're intimidated when they get to this part because they're not sure what to do. And I'm going to show you how I do it. Doesn't mean it's the only way. Doesn't mean it's the best way. But it's the way I've been doing it, and the way I like to do it, to me, is the quickest. For me, simplest. Now, notice I like to, I've got a portable skinning rack thing that slides into my receiver. Man, this is really nice because I can carry it where, if I'm going somewhere, if I go to deer camp, I can carry it with me. And then I can do this wherever I need to do it. But I like to have a water source close by if you can, because no matter how careful you are, you're probably gonna get some hair, and you want to go ahead and get that much of that hair off there as you can. I also like to rinse out the inside of the carcass as much as I can. Get it good and clean. Again, just like anything else you decide to take on, the first few times it'll be a little awkward. I mean, but you'll get better. The more you do it, you'll get better, and you'll get to knowing a little bit more about what you're doing. So, in reality, this is it's about 100-pound doe. Now, once you drop the guts, we're talking about maybe 75 pounds, maybe. And so, really, as far as boneless meat, we're only talking probably 30 pounds of boneless meat on this deer. Because I'm going to have a part down here at the shoulder where she was shot, where I'm not going to, a lot of that I'm not going to do anything with around that wound. Okay, so there's the exit wound, came out through the rib cage. I'll see what I can salvage through there. But on what I'll do on this one, go ahead and so you've got your front shoulders, then your hind quarters, and the front shoulder meat. You know, you can. There's several ways to cook that, but I've never found a really great way that made it very tender to me. So what I do most of my work with a fillet knife. I just use these J. Martini fillet knives, and man, for the money, I'll be honest, it's hard to beat the J. Martini. So what I'll do is I'll go right through here between the rib cage and the front shoulder and kind of open that up a little bit and see what I can use that's not right around this area here where the bullet came out. And I believe I can use, there's a piece of meat right here, so what I'm going to take my fillet knife and fillet that off the bone, going in right here at the joint. And I'll just kind of follow the bone and come up through there and just get that piece of meat. And I'll grind that. I'll get this shoulder meat. What I mainly do with it is grind it up in the grinder and use it as hamburger meat for, you know, chili and whatever your soups and stuff like that. Spaghetti, anything. But I don't like to use a lot around the exit wound because, yeah, it's just bone and stuff like that. So that's probably all I'm going to do with that shoulder right there. Now this other shoulder, the bullet entrance was right there, so I've got a little more to work with here. So I'll open it up and see what I have. as far as edible pieces of meat. Go ahead, and I'll take my fillet knife. I'll come in right here on this. There's a bone running right down through here. Take this piece off. Basically, all I'm doing is getting the meat off the bone instead of taking the shoulders off and you know laying them down on a cutting board. I'm just taking the meat off right here while it's hanging. Usually on a 100-pound doe, if you get 5 pounds of meat that you can grind, that's really, there's just not a lot of meat on the front shoulders of a doe, a 100-pound doe. Just not a lot there, especially if you do a shoulder shot. You're losing a lot. Now, I can go ahead and take this neck off, and what I'll do is cut through the back part, because there'll be a good neck roast. All right, and what I do is I leave the part of it connected right there where the esophagus is, and just take a pair of floppers. Now you can take a bone saw, do the same thing, and cut through the bone. And then all I have to do is get me a good hold on it, because you don't want to drop it. Oh, I didn't get all the way through. There we go. And then you have a neck roast. What you could do, you see there's the esophagus, is I can hold this over the cooler and I'll just cut that esophagus out. That will be less I have to process later on. And then throw it out there for the dogs. My dogs love it when I bring a deer home. Okay, that shoulder's about done. There's still a little piece of meat right here on this I can fillet. And that's the beauty of the fillet knife, is you can get in there close to that bone. Work that. And by the way, what I do, there are some cuts in here that are going to be too chewy, too much sinew and different stuff. I'll take that and make, so I don't waste anything, I'll make jerky treats for my dogs with that, with some of this meat. If it's too bloody or something, or just too much sinew, that's what I'll do. So not to waste it. Use my dogs love the deer jerky treats. See all that? If you see all that white gristle and stuff in there, that's going to be a tough piece of meat unless you prepare it just right. Okay. So I about got the good out of that. Now, also what I'll do is go ahead and cut that shoulder off. Look it over good. See if I can get some more off there. Got a little more meat off there. Okay. Basically on those front shoulders, just do the best you can as far as getting as much meat off there as you can. Now, here's where it comes in. We're getting the back straps off of there, and the fillet knife really works well for that. And what I do is I go right here where I guess everything's running this way until you get here, and it looks like that, you know, where the hindquarters start. So where the back strap meets the hindquarters, that's where I go in at. What I'll normally do is cut down crossways and go all the way down the backbone on both sides. Okay, I go down this one side all the way as far as I can go, and then I'll come in this way and then go down the backbone like that. That way. Alright, and then come down this way. So I've kind of laid out where I'm going to get that back strap or tenderloin, whatever you want to call. At the same time, this layer of fat should be able to peel some of that off. Now, you still have a layer of real tough material called sinew that you're going to have to do something with. And what I do is I'll lay this part down on the cutting board, and I will fillet it off with my fillet knife. But for right now, we're just going to worry about getting it off the deer. Making sure you can see what I'm doing. This is not rocket science, guys. It's really not. And what I'm doing, I'm pulling at the same time. I'm just cutting down through there, trying to get as close to the bone as I can. You see, there's a little meat there. Then you have a nice back strap tenderloin to be done. You can do a lot of stuff with that, okay? Do a lot of different dishes with that. And if I see some meat still on here, I can come in here and I can work it, try to get some of that off there if I want to. There again, I'm trying not to waste anything. Get as much as I can off here. These little old pieces of meat, I'll get off there, like I said, I'll dry those on the dehydrator and might feed them to my dogs. Well, that's a bloody mess there. So that's one side, and let's do the other side. All right. Now again, I'm going to pull that layer off there, because that is just really, you can't chew that, no matter who you are. Just lay it on down. See there? Come on down all the way almost to the neck. Then you got a nice big strip of meat. Miss any, I just go back. Go back and look, trim. Now, what I'll do with this carcass, because dogs got to eat same as people, right? I'll drag this carcass out in the yard. My dogs will be feasting on it for several days. And they much more prefer this than the old dry dog food. I mean, I would too, wouldn't you? Now to get to these inner loins, what I'll do is trim this back right here, like that. Clean up all this. This deer was in really good shape. A lot of fat, a lot of fat on this deer. These are easy to get out. All you gotta do is come in here and cut here and cut here. And then just work these out. These come out pretty easy. What they call the inner loins.